Very good morning and welcome for this session. I'm going to teach you about the technical analysis, which is very important for analyzing the security before you invest in any type of stock. Correct? So first, let us understand what is technical analysis. So technical analysis basically means, okay, it is a process of identifying a trend reversal, identifying a trend reversal at early stage to formulate buying and selling strategy. It means by the past data will be understanding what is a trend and formulate buying or selling strategy. In simple words, the technical analysis help us to understand the past data, okay, and its trend so that we can plan to buy or sell the stock. So technical analysis, it has its own assumptions or principles. Let us understand all those things. So assumptions of technical analysis: interaction of supply and demand determine the market value of the script. The market discounts everything. See, first it says the assumptions, that is the principles of technical analysis. The script price will depends on supply and demand. The first assumption, the first principle is the price of the script or the stock is based on demand and supply, and the market discount everything. The market discount everything. What is the meaning of this? Very simple. The incident like say inflation or the market crash, I can say the even the COVID, correct? Now it's war, right? It is considered, so that factors influence a little, so it discounted everything. That is the meaning of this. So technical analysis may not consider the changes which is influenced by some macro factor, and it is considered in this, and it is understood. It is will be there minor changes, but ultimately the trend, the primary trend may not change. That is the meaning of this. Okay, the price of the security quoted represent the hope, fear, and inside information of the market. So what are the price, Ganga? So which is reflected, right? That is based on fear, hope, and even the inside information. So whatever the price is fluctuating in the stock market, so as per the technical analysis, is based on what? Hope, fear, and in even inside information, right? So ಯಾವುದು ಇವು ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ಏನು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತದಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಎದಕ್ಕಿರ್ತದೆ? ಹೋಪ್, ಅಂದರೆ ಏರಿಕೆ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಫಿಯರ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗಬಹುದು, right? And even inside information. So I hope you know what do you mean by inside information. See, inside information is that information which will be there from the management. They will take a decision, and because of that decision, who are working in that surrounding or in that company or vicinity, they'll understand, and they may also take the advantage or understanding. They will buy or sell, so that information will leak, and on that information also the market react. Are understanding? Are understanding? That is the meaning of inside information. So the whatever the prices, the fluctuation in the prices of the stock is because of fear, hope, and inside information. That is the meaning of this point. Inside information on the issue of bonus share and right issues may support the price. That is the meaning of its extension. That's it. The market always move in trend. You have to understand it. Market always follow some trend. So whether upward or downward or even the flat. Okay. Except a minor deviation, the stock price move in trend. The price may create definite pattern also. So you are going to learn some patterns in coming sessions. You are going to learn some patterns. It may form M shape, W shape, cup shape, triangle shape. So it has, I mean, they follow some pattern or a shape. That is the meaning of this point. So technical analysis assumption is one of the pointers. The price may create definite pattern so that we can predict the future. Our understanding. So the trend may either increasing or decreasing. It continues for some time and then reverse. Always it is there. So increasing, then again decreasing up to certain level, again increases. It's a pattern. That is assumption of technical analysis. And we have to assume that while taking a decision, right? In the rising market, the investor psychology is positive and the purchase share in a greater volume. So very simple, you should know the word volume. So volume indicates number of trades, either buying or selling. Are understanding? Volume indicates number of buy or sell. Volume, that is called as volume. So in a bull market means increasing market. So what is decreasing market called as? Bearish, bear market. So why that bull and bear? Can anyone say? Bull ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು? ಗೂಳಿ. ಹೌದಾ? ಗೂಳಿ ಯಾಕೆ? ನಾಯಿ ಯಾಕಿಲ್ಲ? See, they compared the market. Increasing market is known as what? Bullish. Bull market. Decreasing market is known as bearish. Why those two animals? Bull, hettu, ಗೂಳಿ, ರೈಟ್. ಯಾವತ್ತು ಗೂಳಿ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾ? ತಲೆ ಎತ್ಕೊಂಡೇ ಹೋಗೋದು, ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಜಂಬದಿಂದ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಅದು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಣಿ ಅದ್ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟಿಗೆ, ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸಿಂಗ್ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟಿಗೆ ಬುಲ್ಲಿಶ್ ಅಂತ ಅವರು ಅದನ್ನ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಸೊ ಬೇರಿಶ್ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್, ಬೇರಿಶ್ ಯಾವಾಗ? ಕರಡಿ. ಬಿಯರ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೇನು? ಕರಡಿ. ಕರಡಿ ಹೆಂಗ್ ನಡೀತದೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾ? ಮೂಸ್ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂತ ನಡೀತಾ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಯಾವತ್ತು ತಲೆ ಬಗ್ಸ್ಕೊಂಡೇ ನಡೀತಾ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಆ ಒಂದು ಕಾರಣದಿಂದ ಬೇರಿಶ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಡೌನ್ವರ್ಡ್, ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸಿಂಗ್. ಆರ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್? bullish, bearish. Is it clear, students? Never have doubt on this too. Okay, now coming to this point, in a rising market, what is the meaning? Bullish market. Okay, rising market means bullish market. Bullish market means rising market. The investor psychology is positive. When any investor sees the increasing market, that is bullish market, he will be having that hope. Inna jasti agutte. That is what the mentality of the investors. That is the pointers. That is the assumption, one of the assumptions. In downward trend, what happens? They may be especially keen to get out of the market. So, invest ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀರಿ, decrease ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತದೆ. What that investor feels? So, it is better to sell because he already bought it. Market is falling. So, fear starts. When fear starts, the investor will buy. That is the assumption of technical analysis. And therefore, there will be a decreasing trend. That is the meaning. Technical analyst believes that the past price predict the future. The past price, say technical analysis strongly believes that the past price will predict the future. Because the past price, but when you put the prices on the chart, okay, when you observe, there will be some pattern. Then on that pattern, you forecast the future. So that is the assumption. See, all this technical analysis, why you need to study? Because you are going to apply that. By seeing the past data, you will forecast what may happen tomorrow or in next 1 month. That is the technical analysis. See, we already learned fundamental analysis, correct? There are two analysis need to be done always as a good investor. If you are investor, If you are planning to invest, if you are planning to do investment, then you are called as investor. The person who do speculation is known as speculator, right? The person who does gambling known as gambler. Is it clear? So you want to become an investor or gambler or speculator? Choice is yours. So always I say as a teacher, it is better to be a investor, right? Are understanding? A good investor will do two things. One is fundamental analysis as well as both. But most of the people, okay, in the stock market, they just blindly follow technical analysis. Are understanding? It is always better as an investor to follow both fundamental analysis and technical analysis. In fundamental analysis, already we learned, that is which type of analysis will do. Economic analysis will do. Then what will do? Industry analysis will do. Then coming to a company analysis, that is we learned how to do that. Now we are learning what? Technical analysis. Technical analysis purely based on the previous data and will be putting on some chart. Then we'll find the pattern and we formulate a strategy to buy or sell. Very simple. So technical analysis is based on the previous data and we forecast it. Clear? So these are some assumptions of technical analysis. Shall we proceed? Okay. Next, one of the tool I need to tell you, Dow Theory. Right? See, these are, now we are going to understand the tools of technical analysis. So in that, one tool is Dow Theory. Right? See, these are the tools which we are going to use practically during our investment by seeing the past data. So Dow Theory, it is given by Charles Dow. Right? Dow Theory is one of the oldest method of analyzing the stock market trend. See, all these tools will help us to analyze the market trend. Market trend. Clear? Are you understanding? Is it clear? So we're going to learn next support and resistance, gap. So these are some tools to understand the market trend. Now, which type? How many types of trend, Abhilash? Upward, downward. Charles Dow, okay, is one of the oldest method of analyzing stock market trend. It was developed by Charles Dow and helps investor understand whether the market is moving upward, downward or sideways. So what do you mean by sideways? Flat. Hypothesis. Okay. These are very important. Say for example in exam, if they ask what do you mean by Dow theory or explain Dow theory, you should write all these things. So one is the important thing, and what is the main what it gives, that is this is a theory which gives what? Make us understand the trend of the market. Correct? Whether the market is upward, downward or sideways. Correct? So assumptions. No single individual or a buyer can influence the market primary trend. ಸೊ ನೋ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್, ಇವಾಗ ನಾನು ಎಷ್ಟು ದುಡ್ಡು ಹಾಕಿದ್ರು ಸಹ, ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ರೈಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಾ? ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಅಸಂಪ್ಷನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಕಲಿ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಟ್ರೂ. ನೋ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ಬಯರ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಇನ್ಫ್ಲುಯೆನ್ಸ್. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್? ಸೊ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಹ್ಯೂಜ್. ಇವಾಗ ಹೆಂಗಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ತೇರು, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ತೇರು ನೋಡಿರ್ತಾನೆ, ತೇರು ಎಳಿತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಜಾತ್ರೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಒಬ್ನೇ ಹೋಗಿ ಹಿಂದೆ ಎಳೆಯೋದು, ತೇರು ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂತದ? ಫುಲ್ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಹಾಕ್ತಿದ್ರಿ ಸರ, ನಿಂತ್ಕೋತದ? ಇಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಗೆ ಇವಾಗ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬೈ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ರೈಟ್? ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಪೋರ್ಡ್ ಟ್ರೆಂಡ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ನಾನು ಒಬ್ನೇ ಸೆಲ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲಿದಂಗೆ ಸೇಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ನನ್ನ ಕಡೆ? ಹೌದಾ? ನಾ ಸೆಲ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ರಿವರ್ಸ್ ಆಗತ್ತಾ? ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದಟ್? ನೋ ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ or buyer can influence the market primary trend. Whether it is maybe a big player also. No individual buyer can influence. Okay, that is one of the assumption. The market discounts everything. Again, we learnt in the previously assumption. So the same hypothesis. Okay, that is, what is that? The market discount everything. Even there is a war, there will be a fluctuation. So that is ignored by technical analysis because it doesn't have any answers for that. Corona ಬಂದಾಗ market ಬಿತ್ತು. Actually trend ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಅದೇನಾಗಬೇಕಿತ್ತು, ಅಪ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಹೋಗಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು, ಸಡನ್ ಆಗಿ ಬಿತ್ತು. So discount, it will not define why it is happening because it is independent of macroeconomics. Are understanding? So discount everything. I mean the market discounts everything. Theory is not infallible. ಈ ಥಿಯರಿ ತಪ್ಪು ಆಗೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. That is hypothesis, assumption. Infallible. ಈ ಥಿಯರಿ ತಪ್ಪು ಆಗೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಮೂರು ಅಸಂಪ್ಷನ್ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವೋ? ಫಸ್ಟ್, ನೋ ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಇನ್ಫ್ಲುಯೆನ್ಸ್ ದ market, right? So the market discount everything, and the third one is there is theory is not infallible. Yet remember this hypothesis of Dow theory. So what is Dow theory? Dow theory is a tool to understand the trend of the market, whether it is a upward, downward or sideways, right? It is given by whom? Charles Dow. And what is the hypothesis? No individual buyer can influence the market. Okay, so market discount everything. And the third one is the theory is not infallible. ತಪ್ಪಾಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ Dow theory. As per the Dow theory, Dow theory, the market moves in three trends. Okay, one is primary trend, second is secondary trend, and the third one is minor trend. Right? So primary, secondary, and minor trend. Always the market moves as per the Dow theory. ಓಕೆ, ನಾವು ಅದು ಒಂದು ಥಿಯರಿ, ಅದು ಒಂದು ಟೂಲ್ ನಮಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ತದೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ ಕಲಿತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ಆನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಎ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ಟು ಬೈ ಆರ್ ಸೆಲ್. ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಟೇಕ್, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಆಸ್ ಪರ್ ದ Dow theory, it has every stock is having three types of trend: primary trend, secondary trend, and minor trend. Okay, so let us understand one by one. What is primary trend? What is secondary trend? And even what is minor trend? What happens? How long it will be? What is the duration? Okay, so first, primary trend lasts for a year or two. Duration. Just in primary trend, it will be for 1 or 2 years. Okay, that is the meaning. Secondary trend lasts for 3 weeks or 3 months, 3 weeks to 3 months. And what about binary trend? Day to day fluctuation. So as per the Dow theory, okay, all the patterns of, technical analysis, how you can understand the pattern moves in three trends. One is primary, which is for 1 or 2 years, and secondary, it will be 3 weeks to 3 months. And what about minor trend? It's a day-to-day fluctuations. Okay, so let us understand in depth primary trend. Okay, so first of all, last for a year or two. We know that the duration of the trend normally will be 1 to 2 years. So it's a long term primary trend. Are understanding? And it has two things. This is, we call it as a bull market. This is called, because it is decreasing, it is increasing. So try to understand, during the bull market, what happens? As per the Dow theory, it has 3 peaks. peaks andre tudi. Are understanding? 3 peaks. So T1, let us say it has a T1, first peak will be lower than the second peak. See, second peak will be higher than the first peak. Will you agree? So the third peak will be higher than the second peak. So this trend, as per the Dow theory, it is a primary trend. Is it clear? Okay. So the bull market showed the 3 clear cut peaks. Each peak is higher than the previous one. Each peak is higher than the previous one. The bottoms also, this is a bottom, will be, again the B2 is higher when compared to B1. Correct? Are understanding? Clear? Okay. So the bottoms are also higher than the previous bottom. The phase leading to 3 peaks are, so we call this as revival of market. Phase 1, phase 2, it because it is increases because of the good corporate earnings. It's a fundamental reason, right? And the third one, it rises because of the speculation. This is as per the Dow theory. See, there will be a 3 phases of rising as per the Dow theory, Manjula. The first phase, why it is rising? Because of what? The market confidence. Yes, grow agutte anta ಆ phase rise agutte. Next, because of the corporate earning, that particular company earning, again it rises, the prices will be rises. And the third phase is because of the speculation. This is what the Charles Dow say. Okay. Similarly, in the bearish market, when it is decreasing, okay, what happened? In the bearish market shows 3 clear cut bottoms, B1, B2, B3. Here it is T1, T2, T3, this is peaks. These are the bottoms. So the second bottom is lower when compared to first bottom. Are understanding? And the third bottom is also lower than when compared to B2. So that shows bearish market. And the first phase is happening because of loss of hope. Hope kalkonbidutade market. The first phase is happening because of loss of hope. The second phase is because of the recession in the business. And the third one is because of more selling, distress selling, because of more selling. Right? Are understanding? This is what the Dow theory, as per the Dow theory, the primary trend means. So I repeat, in bullish market there will be 3 peaks. Second peak will be higher than the first peak. Third peak will be higher than the second peak. And the bottoms of this bullish market, the second bottom is also higher than the first bottom. Right? Fine. The first phase is because of the confidence, revival of the market confidence. The second phase of this from B1 to T2 is because of the good corporate earning, and from B2 to T3 is because of the speculation. Similarly, in the bearish market, what happens? You can find out 3 bottoms: first bottom, second bottom, and third bottom. Right? So what happened? The second bottom is lower than the first bottom, whereas third bottom is also lower than the previous bottom, that is B2. And the first phase is due to because of loss of hope. The second phase is because of recession in the business. A third one is distress selling. Because of more selling, it happens. This is what the Dow theory says as per the primary trend. Moving forward, let us understand now the secondary trend. Okay, what does it means? So the secondary trend actually lasts from 3 weeks to 3 months. First point. Okay, so normally the duration of the secondary trend is between 3 weeks to 3 months. And here you should understand the secondary or an intermediate trend. It is also called an intermediate trend. Remember, in some of the textbooks, some of the PDFs, so they say secondary trend, or it is also called as intermediate trend, moves against the main trend. See, always the secondary trend is against of the main trend. That is primary trend. Primary trend, if it is moving upward, this secondary trend or intermediate trend will be opposite of that. That is what the Dow theory says. Okay, it is opposite. The secondary or intermediate trend moves against the main trend and leads to correction. It helps in the correction. Okay, that is as per the Dow theory. In the bull market, the secondary trend can result in the fall. See, in the bull market, in a primary trend, if it is a bull, okay, if it is a rising, the secondary trend can result in the fall because it moves opposite as per the Dow theory. Okay, in the fall, and for about 33 to 66%, this trend 33 to 66%, it will fall in the bull market. And also, next, in the bear market, the secondary trend carries the price upward and corrects the main trend. See, opposite. The secondary trend, as per the Dow theory, it says that it moves against the primary trend. If the primary trend is bullish, the secondary trend or intermediate trend will be opposite. It falls. For what percentage? 33 to 66%. If the primary trend is bearish, it moves, secondary moves upward. For how much? 33 to 66%. Okay, the intermediate trend corrects the overbought and oversold position. It provides breathing space to the market. So it acts as a correction in the primary trend. Very simple. This is called as secondary trend. And the last one is minor trend, okay, which is day-to-day price movement or fluctuation, right? So minor trends are a tertiary moves. It is also called as tertiary. Third type. Okay, minor trend or tertiary moves are simply the daily fluctuation. Minor trend try to correct the secondary trend movement. It is better for an investor. This point is very important. It is better for an investor to concentrate on the primary or secondary trend rather than the third one, that is tertiary or a minor trend. Is it clear? We should not believe this because it is a fluctuation. See, always secondary trend moves against the primary trend. If the primary trend is in the bullish, the secondary trend goes down up to 33 to 66% to correct itself. For correction, we say. That is what the Dow theory. Dow theory, it is formulated by Charles Dow. Okay, as per this theory, we have three types of trend: primary trend, secondary trend, and minor trend. I think we understood Dow theory. So I'll show you this one example and I'll end. This is I can show you the Dow theory. This is recent Tata Power uh, price. Listen. As per Dow theory, primary trend, that is, see, it is, you can see here the bullish market, right? I can say this as T1, T2, T3. Are understanding? This is a Tata T4 also. Okay, so this is theory. Some stock follows, some stock may not follow. And also in this, I'll show you the bullish market, bearish market. So you can say this peak bottom, this as B1, B2, okay, and B3, the bottoms. Are understanding? Is it clear? So secondary trend is because of, I mean, the short term terms trend which is against the primary trend, right? This is the entire, how many years, I mean, from starting to 2026. I think it is for 5 years data, correct? If you take monthly data, again there is a change, right? It's a long term. Fine. So I hope you understood the Dow theory.